I'm ChosenArchitect, and this is Stoneblock 4. Last episode, we spoke with the Echo of Guidance here, and the Echo told us, hey, I'm going to give you an ender lead if you can, well, make yourself an Echo encoder using the world engine, which we just unlocked, and get yourself somehow a zombie villager into the healing spring, probably by using that ender lead, I would assume. And then with that Echo encoder that we're going to make, we need to turn the villager into a worker token, all of which we can use to help kind of automate resource generation. And so at the end of last episode, we made our way to the world engine, which we now get to visualize and see and basically upgrade. This is going to be the epicenter of all of our crafts to come. And it's going to be the thing that sort of gates us and prevents us from progressing too fast. Now, jumping back into our quest, the chrono generator that we just submitted that allows us to teleport around, it also gave us some dreadful dirt. And dreadful dirt, even a single piece of dreadful dirt, can be a powerful tool for making a mob spawner. And we were sort of tasked, right, with getting our hands on a zombie villager. Well, I think now we should use our action pad and teleport back home. This is going to be something that I want to show you. This I have been working on quite a bit. So I have expanded, I gave myself a little bit of a platform here, and I've worked my way up the 13 blocks, like I mentioned last episode, where this room is a 21 by 21. This area up here is a 25 by 25, 13 blocks up. And then it carries on 9 blocks higher. And this area up here is a 29 by 29. This is also actually going to go 13 blocks tall, and then from that point, there's going to be a dome. We'll eventually get the tool that'll allow us to make a dome very easily, but until then, I've been doing all of this by hand, and this has also netted me quite a bit of cobblestone. But now, within this area, I want to figure out where am I going to put a small mob farm. That's kind of important. So here's what I'm thinking. I can go ahead and hit F7 to turn on the lighting overlay. And then what I want to do is I want to create a little hole in the wall until it is completely dark. And we don't want it to be too dark. We don't want to make an area too big. Otherwise, we're going to have a lot of other mob spawning. But what I want is I want it to be just dark enough in this little corner back here to allow these mobs to spawn without me needing to set up any sort of fancy lighting system or glass or anything that makes it dark. I just kind of want this back in the corner. So perfect. This little block right here, after mining a tunnel, we now, away from this light source, this right here can spawn mobs. And that's kind of exactly what we need. So I'm going to actually pretend that the block is right here. So we need to go up 3 blocks from there. So 1, 2, 3. This gives us enough space for Endermen to potentially spawn. Now, last episode, I also made a crafting table on a stick. So this makes it easy for me to make some slabs. And I'm going to place a slab here and a slab here, and then we can place our dreadful dirt perfectly right there. And this should be dark enough for mobs to spawn, and you can see we already have a creeper that's just spawned. But we can make this even faster. If you put a lever on here and pulse this, it will actually spawn mobs quicker. So after we've taken on this guy, we can flick this a few times, and it should toggle another mob to spawn. We've got to get ourselves some zombies because it's also how we're going to get leather and potentially our first backpack. Now, another little fancy thing that we can use is a redstone clock to actually pulse this. It's not going to pulse it as fast as it can be pulsed, but it is going to pulse it, in my opinion, fast enough so we don't have to use the lever. And I think this is going to be more than fine, right? So we just need one of these, throw in some redstone, and it's as simple as just placing it down next to it. And there is some things we can configure, but I think just leaving it on, it's not going to be a big deal, right? So we can pop down here directly underneath, and we can place this block, and that is going to pulse this over and over again. And by default, it's actually, I think, every 10 ticks, but we can set it to a frequency of 5, and that's going to make it even faster. And now we have the perfect mob farm. I've made myself a sword, so I can sit here and just continue to swat at this thing, and it should continue to spawn mobs, slimes, all kinds of stuff. There's a zombie villager, by the way. It's stuff like this. And you know what? Since at this point we have creepers spawning and all kinds of things, we should probably protect our claim. So by opening up the map, we can go into our claim chunks area and we can actually select this and claim it. And you can also hold shift and chunk load these areas too, which I think are going to be pretty necessary later on. possibly chunk loading our entire base here. But claiming this area, that should definitely protect you from explosions. I mean, you wouldn't want any of these creepers blowing up on you now, would you? Ooh, we just got an achievement for world tier. If we hit Control and T, I believe, we can actually open up our world tier, and it explains all of this and how we're going to be able to level up our world tier. This is actually pretty useful, and by default, we just activated Haven, and it doesn't really take too much to do that. But if you hover over here, you can see all of the individual tiers that you can update. This is pretty cool. So if you equip all of the common chest piece, helmet, weapon, leggings, and boots, you're going to be able to unlock the next tier, the frontier. And the higher tiers you go up, the better gems you get from all of your mobs, the better gear you get, and the better bosses you get. Oh yeah, remember last episode I said the creeper event that blows things up? Yeah, that's there. Thankfully they don't blow things up, but boy is that scary. So now I can take some of that leather that I got, or sorry, rotten flesh I got, and I can turn it into leather on the campfire. And this is going to be our next step in crafting the amethyst resonance charm, which we're going to need to be able to make this encoder. Now, while I'm working on this, I also need to keep chomping away at the mobs and continue looking out for a zombified villager. Doesn't really matter which one it is. We just need to pick one up. Oh, there's one right there. Just happens to be an engineer. And at the time of this, I think the engineer's skin one is kind of broken, but we can pick it up by right clicking with the worn out interlead. And we now have the ability to summon it in. But before we do all of this, I do actually want to make the ability to pick those villagers up as it mentions in the quest. So yes, the first world craft we're going to be doing in this engine. I'm pretty excited for this. So let's take our leather. We'll turn this into the amethyst resonance charm. Gives you 50% mana regeneration from iron spells. Okay, very nice. And we need another iron stick wand. I love this. We're then going to travel to the world engine, and we are about to do our first world engine craft. So you just take this, toss both items in, and let them rip. It does have an animation on the face, and I think there might be animations while crafting planned for the future, but there are now animations that happen when you're actively building the things up that happened in here. But there we go. We now got ourselves an echo encoder that has some uses, by the way, and we should be able to put it back inside of here to recharge uses. As of right now, it does have 10 uses. But it did say if you want to recharge them, you just simply toss it back in here and it recharges them all. So now we have basically everything we need. We've just got to head all the way back over here, and we are going to toss in our villager, and we should be able to immediately transform it from a zombie villager, according to the quest, into a full-blown ready-to-go villager. Also, yeah, this is a questing ram from Twilight Forest. To be able to make this happen, we have to give it all the different colors of wool. Just gonna leave it here from right now. He's kind of cute. So here we are. Let's go ahead and drop the villager into the spring. Oh boy, you are very colorful, I will tell you that. And 3. Oh no, he's gonna kill me. Should convert, aha, into a villager. Very nice. And it looks like it actually dropped the gear that it was wearing. And so that immediately turned it into a worker token, making that villager now just a regular unemployed villager. Ooh, we also got some quest to claim, some monies here. This one, some monies, but also gift of pebbles. We could get some really good things from here. Give me something good. Ooh. Okay, that's interesting. We got a sniffer egg. That's kind of cool. We can put that on some moss and actually grow a sniffer. And we get some more monies, and we get a 5x3 painting, an FTB painting. Very, very nice. And look at that. A +1 on our Unearthed level, more monies here, and a mega gift. Oh, the gift of stones. Give me something real good. Come on. And we got a regular Timpat. Actually, is that good? That might be insanely good. Wait, is it? It's actually not too bad. Ooh, time steal. Oh, this requires, oh, this was a big progression skip, I think. This Timpat could be really useful to us. I think it allows us to literally set our own destinations in here and open upon demand. Oh, this is great. This right here is a pretty cool reward. I mean, you're not going to really notice it too much because we do have /home, which makes it pretty easy to always get back home. But storing a location and getting back to that location if need be, it does make it pretty easy. There are multiple ways that we can teleport around in the world, and they do make it very easy for you to get to those destinations, by the way. Now, the painting that we get, let's see. This can go here. I think it's big enough. No, guess not. We need a much larger place to put this. I don't think it's going to fit on this wall. It does say it's a 5x3, so I would assume that it would fit here. Interesting. Maybe here. Oh, there it goes. Very nice. That is a bright picture. Now that we've got ourselves a villager token, it does tell us that we can make more of them by simply taking this villager and placing it in with some food. And so if we look at the uses here, we can put some bread in and it's going to just duplicate our villagers. This is a way to duplicate villagers easily too. So you know what? I'm going to make a little bit larger of a farm. I'm going to make a farm right over here. We can clear out all of this area. Oh my goodness, it actually deleted the water. Okay, yes, but I am going to make a little bit of a larger area by placing the water right here, and this will give us ability to grow quite a bit of crops. Just give it a little once over here, and this will allow me to get quite a bit of bread quite quickly, so we can make a couple of these villagers. I think it's going to be necessary. And this is really simple to do. You just simply hold down the vein line key. I like to hold it down with like my middle finger, and then use my thumb to tap the shift key. And you can just gather tons of wheat quickly this way, or really any crop. And then you can do something like this where you craft something and then you can hit tab to actually refill that craft, making it very quick. Another quick way of getting things done. Ooh, and I do want to get myself a backpack pretty soon. So we do also have these industrial hemp seeds, which I did get from just simply breaking dirt, I believe. Yeah, you just basically use the brush on some dirt and you can get some of these. I think you can also break grass to get this. And this allows us, if we grow this allows us to get hemp very quickly, which we can turn immediately into string. Just 3 hemp and we are ready to go. So backpack. Yes, I mean, at this point, we should probably get a backpack up and running. That way we can put some of our tools and kind of tuck them away. We need a single chest for this. Look at us go. All right. And upgrading the backpack, pretty easy as well. So perfect. We have ourselves a backpack and let's see, we have some gold. We also have some iron and I think we can upgrade this immediately. Beautiful. There we go. And later on I'll dye it, but gold is a pretty decent sized backpack. And then once we get some diamond, which shouldn't be too far off, we're going to be ready to rock and roll, ready to get this done. So let's go duplicate some villagers. I think that's the next step. Now, when starting up today, I did actually get given a trophy, I think via the quest for me actually logging in, which was kind of nice. I think this is a gift from the FTB team for being an FTB partner. Thank you guys. This is absolutely adorable. I just got an Rs book that just kind of floats on my head now. Very nice. Now I'm back over here at the world engine. Let's go ahead and do that actual villager breeding. So we can throw the bread in, we throw the token in. Doesn't require anything just yet. These are some basic crafts. And it's going to craft 2. Now, something cool that I noticed about the world engine is it can craft multiple crafts at once. So if I give it the resources, I can put these 2 in there. It takes both of them and it performs the crafts simultaneously or parallel to each other. That's going to be really useful later on, I think. After spending a little bit of time, there we go. We have 18 worker tokens. I think it's going to be more than fine for right now. But this is where we get into actually using these worker tokens. Yes, we're going to have to employ them and put these villagers to work. The worker token that the villagers converted into was just an example of what the echo encoder can do. Very interesting. So this right here is the Unearthed. It's a 3x3 block that allows you to automate block brushing. So all this brushing that we've been doing by hand, this block should be able to automate that for us. Now, this is going to require some cobbled Deepslate, I believe polished, right? Polished cobbled Deepslate. We'll take some of that. I think I'm going to make like 3 of these for right now. I think that's going to be more than enough. We need it to brush gravel, sand, and dust as of right now. But eventually, we are going to need more than just that. But I think getting started, this is going to be more than enough. And we do have to convert regular glass. Is it like this? Yes, we actually get 2 of them and we have to use tinted glass. I find this kind of funny. Where do we put in these villagers inside of this Unearthed? And it's literally a dark box. We're just storing them in a dark box. It feels awful, honestly. Now, I just ran out of regular amethyst, but we did grab some blocks and we can convert this if we utilize a cutting board. So I'll place a cutting board right on here and we can place this and use a pickaxe and it will convert the blocks of amethyst. We can put it in our offhand and just simply right click a whole bunch. And look at there, we've got even more amethyst. I think that's going to be more than enough for completing this. We just need 5 more of these. Oh, assuming I have the glass. Yes, and I do. Now, these guys I do want stationed up top here. And my ultimate goal is to have them fully automated up top. And I want these little open door areas to contain these. And we may have multiple as we continue on. But I think for right now, we'll have 1 corridor for each individual type. So I've now dug out a hole. I think this is going to be perfect size. I kind of want them on a pedestal in the middle here. So I'm going to place this. And since they do take up a 3x3, this is going to work out just fine. Directly in the middle is where we're going to place the Unearther. And it looks just like this. Now, inside is where we actually put the worker token. But as of right now, we currently have unemployed workers, you know. I kind of get it. It's understandable that they're unemployed, but we need to employ them. That's going to be something we have to do. There's a food slot and a slot for our brushes, and we do have to provide those, and then a slot for the actual materials, and all of this should be automatable. So now that we have our Unearthers set up, we do get some opaque item pipes, which is nice from Ortec. That makes it really easy for us to automate this, and it talks about the 2 different types that we have access to of workstations. So we have a salvaging table, and we also have a decorated pot, both of which are going to be used to give these guys employment. Now, thankfully, we already have a smithing table. That's pretty easy. We do need some amethyst dust, which we do get from the cutting board as well. So we take our regular amethyst here, and I believe we put this on here and use the hammer to crush it. Perfect. That gets us amethyst dust. And what else is needed for this table? I mean, not much more than that. Some polished deepslate slabs. We already have all of that. And a salvaging table ready to go. So both of these are what we need. Now, we should be able to convert this directly into a token again. I'm going to go down here in a hallway to be able to get these villagers placed out. But if I place this down, the only workstation it should be able to go to is this one. And perfect. There we go. Now, do these guys trade stuff? So Cobblestone will trade for emeralds. And it looks like we can also trade for andesite. So these are still functional villagers. Oh, these might be worth just having around. But this one we got to put right to work. So I'm actually just going to grab this guy for now. And this one is the geologist. And then we need the ones for decorative pots. And I was looking at them. And it looks like the geologist is good for gravel. And then we have the other one based on this, the archaeologist, which is going to be good for dirt, dust, mud, and sand. So we're gonna need 2 of these, especially since we're doing dust and sand. Let's say if I just like move over here and I throw this guy down, look at that. Okay, so there's an archaeologist. And what do you trade? Gravel for emeralds. Okay, I'll pick you up and let's get another one. That one immediately traded. Beautiful. And I kind of want to set these up somewhere temporarily in our base. That'd be an easy way to get emeralds early on. And who knows what, I don't have no idea what their like higher end trades are. That'll be something to kind of keep an eye on. You know what? I think for right now, I'll take like the pot and put this here, and I'll take the salvaging table, put it over here, and we'll just spawn in a couple more of these villagers. Like there's that one. That one should convert into that. And that one should convert into that soon. There we go. So now I guess we should get these guys up and running, and then also try to set up some automation for them. So let's do the geologist here. We do have to make some brushes, so that's something I'll be able to do. We can use some crude brushes temporarily. And then we give this guy some gravel, and it should start working. But we also need food. Interesting. Insert some food in the top tier slot. I think I have an idea for food. Oh yeah, you're going to really like this. Now, remember those tables full of food that we seen back at spawn? Yeah, we can go back up here with some bowls, and we might be able to take advantage of some of this food they've left out for us. I mean, they kind of left us all kinds of stuff. They left us anvils that we could use. We do have some smokers here that I think we could also use if we really wanted to. There's also food that I don't see lasting very long, especially if you're on a server, because we can just scoop a bit of this out, you know, just eat some of this food here. We can also use this for our villagers. And there's more than just what exists here. There's actually a whole table over here too. Just all kinds of goodies laying around. The loot bee just spawned, by the way, and ended up dropping an energy tablet that's completely filled. That's fantastic. Anyways, I am working on making some more brushes because I am going to need more of these. Also, from the loot bees, you definitely want to grab the eggs. These are going to be so useful later on. Now, back up here to kind of set up some very, very basic and crude automation. I'm going to place a chest just like so on this side, a chest on the other side. And then in the back here, we'll worry about that later. I do need a spot for inputting brushes and potentially inputting food. So we could put one here and here. I don't think we're going to need all of that, especially on the food front, but I will need a spot for brushes. So I'm going to start placing in these pipes, and these are pretty cool. We can just go ahead and just right click. That's going to set that to extract. And then the same is going to happen on here. We're going to place this pipe in, right click. That's going to pull items out like gravel. And then on this side, we're going to make it pull out of the actual unearther. And that's going to fill all of the products that it sieves up. And that should work out just fine. So let's take some brushes and then we'll place this in here. And then this guy is going to start working. Look at that. Over time, though, we're going to get a little progress bar that's going to increase. And our level is actually going to increase on this. So the best way to get this going quickly is to simply feed it and make sure we have resources for it to process. And like I said, the food is really powerful. So the more hunger and saturation it has, the better it is, the faster it's going to make the worker work, and also the longer the food itself is going to last. So by clicking that in there, you can see we get a 70% speed boost, and we get a huge time remaining buff on here too. And I think the gravel one is one of the best ones to have processing. It's going to get us iron, it's going to get us diamonds and stuff, and emeralds very, very soon. And yeah, the quicker this levels up, the quicker we get those resources. Now I think over here we can do dust. Let's go ahead and grab one of our archaeologists. We'll throw that in. The brushes, let's take like a few of those. Eventually we're going to upgrade our brushes and they'll eventually be unbreakable, so we don't even have to worry about them anymore. But yes, I'm going to take this and we'll turn this into dust and just let it start sieving some dust. And the same thing applies here. The food we want leveled up, and we'll start to get better and better drops as this progresses on. Last but not least, our sand producer. Yes, I'm going to throw this over here. I do have to gather some more sand because as of right now, it's pretty manual with the sand because we don't have cobblestone generators, but I'm actually about to change that. Definitely going to be changing that. A quick reference on the food: the more shanks, the faster the work speed, and the more saturation, the longer the food lasts. Yeah. But now we need to start focusing on getting ourselves a cobblestone generator. But at this point, we've also reached our goal. So yes, we now need to go talk back again to the Echo of Guidance. So back to spawn we go. Oh boy. And let's have a little talk here again with the Echo of Guidance. We should be able to now also complete our stage quest. Aha, there we go. With these tokens, the WERK is now able to reboot the archives of 3 additional echoes. Their upgrades will assist you in restoring the first segments of the world engine. The echoes may appear similar in form, but each have their personality of their most successful predecessor artificially recreated. Hope this is to your liking. Each echo can be found in the lobby above with their respective archives. Your quest book allows you to set a waypoint on your map with each of their locations. And it also says the Echo of Quartermaster manages knowledge on stored systems and other general miscellaneous items. The Echo of the Machinist specializes in mechanical systems and basic automated machinery. Very cool. I like that guy. And the Echo of the Magician focuses on arcane and magical sources. Ooh. And then it tells us the task is to return to me once you have completed the Quartermaster and at least 1 additional Echo World Engine upgrade. And it also looks like in the shop we now have what looks to be even more upgrades here. Random sophisticated chest upgrades. Ooh, and we also get access to random furnaces too. Oh, and this right here, Deepslate ring ender shards for teleporting. This is going to be super nice. Well, we definitely want to buy these. I'm going to go ahead and place my first order here. It should give us 4 of these for cardinal directions. Allows us to just instantly teleport to the Deepslate layer. Well, once we have a teleporter, that is. Ooh, and these smithing templates, these are going to be great. We're going to need these for actually upgrading our brushes. So we can make them a little bit stronger. Also, random furnaces. I kind of want to roll this. There is a chance we could get a rainbow furnace. It's a 0.36% chance. We could also just regular roll an iron furnace, but still, I'm going to buy one. And let's see what we get. 3, 2, 1. You know what? I will settle for an emerald furnace. That's actually quite fast. So perfect. We actually need to go talk to these guys and figure out which one's which, figure out who's who and who we actually need to start working with. Now, right over here, we have the Archive of the Magician. Might as well take a peek down here. And yes, a lot of R stuff, a lot of iron spells stuff, it looks like. A little bit of Malum too. Very nice. Aha, hello. This is the Echo of the Magician. Now, I want to try my best to make some voices for these guys, but it says entity detected. Echo archive initiated. Greetings, seeker of wisdom. I assume you wish to uncover the magical ways of the world in order to restore the world engine. Even with this endless stone world, source yet flows. 'Tis drawn from the very foundations of the world and the lifeblood inhibiting the stone. Begin by acquiring resources imbued with magical essence. Seek out the archwood, born of saplings unearthed by your assistance. Yes, our task is to craft archwood planks. That's literally it. But now looking at the shop, ooh, we got a lot of good stuff here. There's nutrient chicken feed, enchanting tables will unlock as we progress on. Looks like some teleporters. I have no idea where that teleports me to, but somewhere. We'll get some glyphs that we can buy. Pretty interesting. A brewing stand. Actually, we got one of those. Red fertilizer. Okay, so some pretty interesting things. A mega torch. And I think some of these things we can craft. Some of these things we may not be able to craft, and this may be the only person we can buy it from. But that is our conversation started. I think we're good. That's our first task for at least this projection. Now over here we have the machinist. Interesting. Ooh, I see some create related things. Okay. This is a really cool looking room. Look at all the create piping and stuff. Very, very nice. All right. So what do we have to offer here? You're the new helper. Not sure how much you'll be able to get done with those soft, clean hands, but I'm more than happy to be surprised. Let's make sure that you've at least got the basics before you go off and do your own thing. Here, take this paw prepped for you ahead of time. All right. We have our task to claim the entropy manipulator. Look at that. Ooh, okay. That entropy manipulator should have enough energy to convert some stone into lava, which you could then turn into obsidian. It's the only material you can get right now that can handle the alloy infusion. You'll need it for the next world engine upgrade. So you'll need to make some train casings first. These should serve as a strong base for the next casing you'll be infusing. And our task is to craft train casings. And I think this is one of the optional things, but it's definitely going to be worthwhile doing, I think, especially to unlock all these goodies that these guys offer. And I will tell you, it's a very, very easy task, even though it sounds complicated. Just don't let create scare you. I promise it's really, really fun in this pack, and they go about it in a really creative way. Get it? Creative? All right, I'll stop. And then we have the quartermaster, my favorite. Yes, the person who enjoys storage and all things in that field. Very, very nice. So now we've achieved the quartermaster. And howdy, young one. It's been a hot minute since I've seen one of your kind around these parts. I'll cut straight to the chase. I'll give you some tasks when you're done, and you can repair that old rusty world engine with this old quartermaster's know-how. As it is, I'm the proud owner of one of the major upgrades of the world engine. So, unfortunately for you, you gotta do as you're told no matter what. I'm just messing. Watch it. Well, kind of. The machine blocks are essential, but I'll be nice and keep your first job real easy. Go out and you need to make the machine that can make circuits and metal alloys and sturdy casing components. All those fun things. All right, so our task is to craft a metallurgic infuser and the dielectric casings. And would you look at there, we get a whole bunch of cool stuff. So copper to iron tier upgrades. We got some iron to gold. Let's see what else is in here that's really nice. Ooh, the wand of symmetry, a magnet. Okay, we get, ooh, a diamond hammer with efficiency and breaking on it. Very nice. I kind of like some of this. Some mining dynamite, a controller, torch flowers, also a pet rock. I kind of want to buy a pet rock already. Then we get basic to copper tier upgrades. These are going to be really, really essential, I think. And so now we've met with all of these guys, and now that we've done that, we can actually open our action pad. If we want to just simply travel to the magician, we can now do that so long as we've made it to spawn first. But now I tell you, this is where the pack really starts to open up. We've now unearthed the tier 1 foundation, and this is where you sort of, quote unquote, have a choice. And in my opinion, I think you should do all of them, as it is going to unlock everything for you, but you have to complete the main tier to get to the first big upgrade. And then you can do this side quest if you want, or choose to do this side quest. Honestly, the Rs one is way easier, but this one has a dungeon in it. It's so darn cool. And you get given all of these cool things from completing the dungeon, and it's pretty neat. Now, this does give you some different stuff. We also get another random item here, and I happen to get an Eye of Ender. Look at that. Oh, it's so good. We're getting so much money back from completing all of these tasks. We have the Arcane Grove Locator. Like, we got all kinds of goodies. Now, I'm going to save my pet rock for right now because we actually don't have the things to tame it, so I am going to keep that in there. But we do have all of these new little bits and bobs. It's going to be kind of nice. Oh, and speaking of kind of nice, now that we have ourselves an entropy manipulator, we can actually use this to generate lava. So all we have to do is simply, I believe, right-click, shift-right-click. Shift-right-click? Or no, right-click. And that turns it to lava, and we can just scoop it up. And we're good to go. And we can hit it again with the manipulator, and we can turn that into obsidian once we have some diamond to be able to break it. But now I want to use this right off the bat to be able to make myself some cobblestone generators, and that's going to allow me to at least have an infinite source of cobblestone being generated while we're working on other projects. Now, for that cobblestone generator, which is listed right here, we are going to also need compressed stone. So I had some stone cooking up, and we're going to need 6 of that to be able to make our first tier cobblestone generator. Thankfully, though, after this, it's pretty smooth sailing from this point. Upgrading them, we just need to use productive metalworks, which we'll eventually be getting into. But there we go. Oh, our first cobblestone gen that's just going to passively generate resources for us over time. Super nice. But there we go. This is also how we're going to upgrade our first thing, which here soon, I think getting into productive metalworks is going to be more than necessary. Now, the thing we need to place on top of the cobblestone generator, I think, is going to be best a compacting drawer. And there we go. Compacting drawer ready and set up. And for right now, we can place that, I don't know, like right here. I think this is going to be like the center point. Place that on top, and we do have to start it off by placing some cobblestone into the compacting drawer. But once it's in there, it's going to automatically start generating. You can see right there, like almost 1 every tick for now. Pretty slow, but it just builds up over time, and that's kind of what we want. I think now it's the perfect time to actually make like a chisel, for example, from the chip mod, and start sort of getting some of the decorations in. I know I haven't gotten all of this done, but I think this is really going to start to make this area look a lot nicer. I'm going to be using some cobblestone here, and we can chisel all of the base, and I kind of want to extend out from all sides here, basically removing all of this. I want to extend out on all sides and build like some columns that reach up to the top. Maybe place some right here, and so on and so forth. And then I want to take all of these and convert them into some pretty columns. I kind of like this column right here. Just get them all converted like this, and I can just start branching these up and just continuing all the way up to this top section here. Once I get the pillars up, I'm just going to cap it off, and right here I'm going to build this out. And this is like our first area. Our other areas are going to continue to expand up. It's going to have to, you know, let me cook here. You know, I'll get it done. I'll get it looking really nice. I just kind of, instead of like taking all of my stuff and moving it, I kind of wanted to start to build and then just kind of work my way through this build as we continue on, instead of just basically moving everything, which is usually what I end up doing. It's like once I get a AE system, I like to just throw everything in it and then just completely wipe everything I had. This time I'm trying things a little bit differently, kind of pre-planning it, and that way we have enough space and I know exactly what I'm going to need. I think changing these walls out, once we get like exchanging gadgets and building gadgets, life's going to be a lot easier. We're going to have a lot of space. These are going to open up and are going to have access to other areas, and same on all of the upper levels. And this is going to be much, much taller than this. Now, after getting this, I think the last thing we really need to do is just simply upgrade our furnace here. And by doing that, we are putting a speed augment in, makes it a whole lot faster. And I have the configs set up to automatically pull in fuel from the left-hand side. And we can just start smelting some of the resources that our unearthers are actually doing. Pretty nice. And like I said, this is pretty darn quick for what it is. We can actually convert these two into full iron blocks. And I mean, I guess that too might actually make this a bit faster. So I think this is a pretty good stopping point. And I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Hopefully you learned something new, how to progress through this mod pack, it is kind of a journey thus far, and I'm having a lot of fun so far. This has been a really fun pack, whether I am streaming it over on Twitch or I am hanging out and playing it here for you guys on YouTube. This has been fun so far, and there's a lot more fun to be had. We have barely even touched the surface. And so if you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and well, give this video, guys, a huge thumbs up. And with that being said, it's now time to thank the amazing supporter of today's episode. And that huge thanks is going to go out to Real64. Thank you so much for your amazing support and choosing to support me over on the Discord by becoming a Discord premium member and just supporting my content in one of the best ways possible, you absolute boss. And guys, I look forward to seeing you all in the next episode, where we're going to continue to find out what this pack has to offer. And as always, thanks for watching.